Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
You're listening to TFG Cricket.
Hello and welcome everyone. Here we are sitting in the room, the studio. Joining me is, as usual for cricket, Vivek and CP Thomas. Hello.
Hi.
All ready to talk about, well, the IPL auction just took place yesterday.
Big monies.
Yeah. And, well, we expected this guy to go big, and he did. Ben Stokes was the star of the auction, the day I should say. So here we are to talk many other things. There are many others, few shockers as well, and few surprises here and there. We are here to give you a review of how the whole auction went by.
We're going to debate, not review.
Yeah.
We're having a
It's like that.
presidential debate.
Even I think even more important and significant than that, and people will be very interested to hear what both of you have to say. So Vivek, do you want to kickstart?
Sure. I think it was, in my opinion, the worst auction. We've had this for the last 10 years. And
How
I
can
can
you
say
judge
this.
auctions?
There was no intrigue. Yes, the only excitement was Ben Stokes. And that was destroyed in the first 10 minutes. And then it was all about the unknown guys. Coming into the auction, yes, there was the build-up about English players, especially Ben Stokes. And everybody knew the franchisees will be very frugal. And there were not too many to be picked either. Yes, some shockers. Ishant Sharma was unsold. Imran Tahir. Few batsmen. Alex Hales. Johnny Bairstow. But once Stokes was snapped by RPS, I think they got sucked into it. They were enticed. They will only realize this midway through the tournament. Now it's all great. You got a superstar. Obviously, I want to touch upon the comment that the Goenka group made after roping Stokes. And they said, we've had many heroes. We have many heroes, but none like Ben Stokes. I don't buy that.
I'll talk about the hero part. I think
yes.
You're misquoting Goenka, but it's fine.
No.
He said, what he said was, his choice of words was absolutely dismal. There's no doubt about it. He said, we have many heroes and we don't have a hero in this genre. So
genre?
Yeah.
No. I'm not too sure about the word category here. No.
Genre. He mentioned, because I was wondering what he said, so I heard it again. He said, we don't have here. So the choice of words, what he meant was he didn't have a great all-rounder. He couldn't get those words out, and he wasn't prepared. I think we're just getting into nitty-gritties on this, but I think it's about how Ben Stokes, everybody knew Ben Stokes would go big and there would be bidding for him. In fact, there were surprise bidders like Mumbai Indians and...
But CP, that you associate, that is the dirty game franchisees play. Old school strategy of you inflating prices.
Yeah, the thing is, there's just 8 of them and each one knows the strategy, but it's exactly like what happened with Malia and Yuvraj Singh. So Malia had decided, Kohli had decided Yuvraj has to be in the team. There was
twice.
There was no second time. He thought he could get him for lesser, but again, somebody played the inflation game and inflating game, and he got sucked into it. Here, I think, I don't know whether RPS overbid, but they had said they will empty their purse on Ben Stokes. So that was the strategy. Whether it's good or bad, only the future will tell. But they went in saying Ben Stokes chahiye. Now, looking at their team, everybody knows they lack bowlers. Their season was dismal because they lacked bowlers. But I think what the thought process is that Ashwin is back in form. Ashwin is the fulcrum around which their bowling will go. They then will depend on 1-2 of the all-rounders like a Mitch Marsh. But whether Mitch Marsh and Ben Stokes can play together, unlikely. Yeah. So you have now a batting lineup which is Rahane, Faf, Smith, Dhoni, and then followed by Ben Stokes. And so you're totally dependent now on this. This is what happened to them in the first season also, where they were totally dependent on 4-5 players, and 2 of them got injured, 3 of them got injured.
It can happen again, CP. This is where I feel they had a perfect opportunity to erase those bad memories.
Yeah,
they had the opportunity
yeah,
to
I
make
think
amends. They haven't. They
see,
went all guns blazing for Stokes. They should have done their homework better, knowing how teams can get naughty. And what amazes me is when the bidding started, you saw Delhi from one corner, Mumbai from other. In Calcutta, everybody thought going into the auction, I heard a lot of pundits, including us, we said Stokes will go there, like for like replacement for Andre Russell. Didn't happen. Then you saw Mumbai coming in. Then you saw Delhi coming in. Kings 11 Punjab showing some interest. Pune didn't respond. Only when the budget reached over 10 crores, somebody from that camp put their hand up. I don't know, CP, if you're so serious about getting a player in, you have to go from the word go.
No,
why are you even waiting?
I totally disagree with that. For the simple reason that you are waiting to see where it goes.
Where it goes. In the process, you have lost out 10 crores. Had you put your hand up, I'm pretty sure, this is my view. If I am on the opposite camp, and if I see 3 teams going up simultaneously, and I will put myself into the pool, in the process, 1 or 2 who are not so serious about bidding will just perish.
It can actually go the other way around also, knowing that, see, who are the ones who required Ben Stokes? It was KKR and RPS.
And RPS, yes.
And KKR said no.
Yes.
So so the strategy can be 2. 1, I don't overspend on Ben Stokes, or I overspend on Ben Stokes. So KKR said, no Ben Stokes, we are fine.
They were very clear about it.
We are fine.
Yes.
We are fine.
And we saw how beautifully they backed it up towards the end.
No, now you can't say that. When you said Andre Russell ka
yes.
substitute is Ben Stokes, so they've said it's fine. We don't want Ben Stokes. We'll back it up with somebody else.
Yes.
Shakib is our all-rounder, which is fine and good.
But you can't fill Andre Russell's shoes. Not that Stokes would have won them many games like Andre Russell, but he was the best buy.
Yeah, but that's what I said before the auction. You have a clear strategy. Do we go for... See, there was nothing to think about. It was like no rocket science. Either you go for Ben Stokes or you don't go for Ben Stokes. Pune said, we are going at whatever cost. KKR said, we are not touching him only. So it was a very clear thing that in that, Pune would have even spent 15. Yeah, they were, because their strategy is
the sad part is they took back about 1.5 crores back home. Along with that, they took some absolute unknown quantities in the bowling department. It was very thin last year. They suffered because of that. They should have realized, CP, the match winners are your bowlers also, not only the all-rounders and batsmen. Smith, Fafdu, Ajinkya, they are all good. The other area of concern for me with Pune is, why did they let go Alex Hales or a Jason Roy? Sure, Fafdu and Ajinkya are accomplished T20 batsmen. But you compare the pyrotechnics of Hales and Roy, I'm pretty sure very few in the world can match it. Now, let me finish.
Yeah.
And that's where, just consider the situation. You have Faf, Rahane opening. You have Smith, Dhoni and Stokes. And then what? Who's at number 6, 7, 8? Somebody like Rajat Bhatia? Who?
See,
and then you're bowling. There is Ashok Dindal. There is Deepak Chahar. There is only one match winner, Ravichandran Ashwin, and he's also desperate for somebody to complement him. Murugan Ashwin disappointed last season. So the bowling looks very, very thin. Out of sheer desperation, they got Lockie Ferguson, who's a rookie. And bowling in New Zealand, he got whacked all over the park. When you have seamer-friendly conditions... I don't think
Ferguson and all are going to make the 11 also.
So why did you buy them in the first place?
Because it's like all teams... It's like Mumbai wanting Ben Stokes or Jason Roy or whatever. The whole thing is you have a team... See, you're going into the whole tournament thinking this is my strategy and this is what I'm going with. Now, exactly what they did last year also... They went with us on paper before IPL. Everybody said RPS is the team to beat, and it was the team to beat.
Yes,
with KPS, Mitch Marsh,
yes,
Faf, and.
But when you have 4 or 5 big guns pulling out at the same time, that is bad luck.
Vivek, that nobody knows about. That nobody knows about that. Same here. Now look on paper. If your top order of 6, which is Ajinkya Rahane, Faf, Smith, Dhoni. Mitch Marsh and Ben Stokes, if they can't perform and win, then followed by Ashwin, then I think no team can win. So I would say this is what the whole tournament is about. So they have emptied their purse on one guy, betting on him. Let's see how it goes. So I think only time will tell whether
if that is the defense. I want to connect to the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Time and again, they have had match winners on the batting front. Nobody on the bowling. What has happened to them? It's been 10 years. They haven't touched their hands on the IPL trophy.
Yeah, there were 6.
They were close twice, thrice. But the bottom line is they haven't tasted success.
Again, I'll defend RCB very well on this, in the sense that your runner-up is as good as a winner, except that in the sense
who could have won them that final against Sunrisers Hyderabad?
Only 6. Only one. They were 110 for no loss in 9 overs.
All that is fine. You can't tell me you fell 2 runs short of the target. You have to analyze. You have to see. You have to take 14 games.
Sunrisers didn't win the final on their bowling.
But what got them to the finals? Ashish Nehra, Mustafizur Rahman, Karan Sharma and Trent Bolt.
What got RCB to the final?
Yes, I give that, but you have to.
I think we need a separate session on this. I think.
But this started in 2008. We are about 10 years old now. Time and again, RCB has faltered because they don't have the bowlers. This time also, they should have realized this was another disaster. Tymal Mills, right here I'm predicting. So this guy played in the Big Bash. He's
played all leagues.
Let me finish.
He's played all 5 leagues.
He has played all 5 leagues. He was not so effective in Brisbane, where you had probably one of the best bowling decks in the world. He worked with Daniel Vittori. It's a classic story of Brisbane to Bangalore. And I'll tell you what happened. He will bowl, and what can happen? He will bowl short of a length. I don't see him with too many variations. He doesn't swing or seam the ball. He's got pace. In Bangalore, where you're going to be playing 7 games, Bangalore is at an altitude where the ball will fly. The pitch is flat. Somebody of this nature, somebody of this style, he's going to bowl back of a length. As a batsman, I'm going to be predetermined. I know where to hit him. And if my marquee bowler, if my foreign bowler is conceding 8 to 10 runs in an over, what sort of an investment is that? This will happen. He might get you a few wickets in the power play, no doubt about it. But paying 10 crores for somebody like a Tymal Mills, and all this is because he picked up few wickets against India. This is the problem with the Indian franchisees. They need to see a lot of cricket, not only what happens in India. They have been fooled. They could have gone for Chris Woakes. Especially when you have Adam Milne, one of the finest fast bowlers. He's been plagued with injuries. I'm talking about the Kiwi. Why don't you play him? Okay, and then you have Tymal Mills, and then you back it up with an absolute terrible call in Billy Stanley. Can you imagine Sri Lankan team? Sri Lanka cannot bat in Australia. They clobbered him for 40 in 4 overs in his debut game. Again, why is Daniel... This is again Daniel Vittori's problem. He got him straight from Brisbane. He was chucked out of the Brisbane Heat side also. He didn't get a chance. Somebody like a Mark Steketee got a chance. So, I don't understand. Franchisees keep making the same mistake again and again. 10 crores, Tymal Mills.
The only thing I can say about that is that, see, they have a problem in which 4 foreign players to play. Because Gale, Shane Watson and...
A.B. de Villiers, there is Travis Head.
No, so these 3 to definitely are in the team. So you just have one spot. Whether you... I think Badri is with them.
Yeah, Badri is with them, yes.
So now you have a Badri, a Tymal, and you have anybody else coming in. If Mitchell Stark was there was no question about the 4th player also. Yeah. So it was like a... So here what they wanted a bowler. Okay, definitely they overpaid on this one. There's no doubt about it. But again, the same thing. They said this is the guy who is in form, or this is the guy who was in India. Let's try him. And of course the Vettori factor would have been there. See, what's happening is, like we discussed before the auction, most teams have their core team in place. They just were, except for an RPS, most teams had their core team in place because they have gone through multiple seasons with that, except for a Gujarat Lions and RPS, which was the first season for them. Yeah. Gujarat Lions struck gold with their team, and they did really well.
Yeah.
RPS was the only one who faltered, and there has been no team which has had such a bad season with players where the top 4-5 players just go away. It's like, and it can happen to anybody, but it happened to them. So actually, only an RPS had to rebuild their team, and for any other team, whether it was a KKR, of course, you miss an Andre Russell, you miss a Mitchell Stark, a Kings 11 might miss Johnson, but they all knew that they needed 1-2 players. So whether they overpaid or not, it's very clear that they overpaid. But they said, we need this guy. And okay, when Vettori says, okay, I need him at whatever cost, fine, you have the purse, you splurge on it, fine. My only thing was that if Ben Stokes had gone for a little less, RPS could have had one more good bowler or whatever.
A seam bowling all-rounder.
Now, see, the thing is, when you have Mitchell Marsh as well as Ben Stokes, you don't need to look around. But the fact remains that Marsh is highly injury prone.
And if you play Marsh and Stokes together, you still have Faf, you have Steven Smith, and everybody is forgetting about Adam Zampa.
Yeah.
You can't field 5 foreigners.
No, of course not. See, that's a problem with all the franchises. So now, you know that Ben Stokes will be out after 14 games and he's not there. So naturally, they have to field a different foreigner. So it will all depend on how the initial matches go, how Stokes comes into the fold and how well he performs. Let's see how it goes. But I think let's touch more upon some of the players which didn't get.
But I think before we get to that, we have to give credit to Delhi. Normally we don't, but here they made a very smart move by picking not one but 2 fantastic match-winning seamers, Kagiso Rabada and Pat Cummins, back to back. But again, as they say, true colours will be revealed sooner or later. And they faltered when they picked 2 all-rounders in Corey Anderson and Angelo Matthews. Yeah. When you already have Chris Morris and Carlos Brathwaite, why do you need 2 more? Are you telling me you're going to play all 4? Which means you're going to drop Quinton de Kock, Sam Billings and JP Dumini. Perfect recipe for a disaster.
No, see, their formula, the way Dravid and Paddy work,
nobody understands.
No, Dumini and de Kock will be a fixture.
And what about Chris Morris?
No, they keep rotating. The whole problem is that they have Braithwaite, now they have
Anderson and Matthews.
Yeah, so they'll keep rotating and they'll try 2 if they work. Next 2. So, and they think that's also upsets the opposition a bit. Unfortunately, IPL is actually a very straightforward league. There's not much thought to be given to it.
Yeah.
You know which pitch behaves how. And if you study the last 10 years, you know what is the winning total on most of the pitches. It hasn't deviated much except for 1 or 2 odd performances which might take the...
Yeah. By and large, the consistency has remained.
Absolutely. So I think, even coming to an Imran Tahir also, I think the whole problem is we are very, very happy with our Indian spinners. You think that they are the ones who win matches for you and that's enough. Or 4 overs ke liye, why should I, waste money on another foreigner whom I'll have to accommodate in the 4 playing foreigners. So it's better I don't have him than have him and keep him on the bench. Unfortunately, that is how the thought process goes. And I think in an Imran Tahir's thing, also fielding would have come into play. You want more agile fielders out there. So probably that could have been a thought. But of course, he's the number 1 ranked T20 bowler in the world.
And
he's
one
not
day. I agree when you say fielding. But you made this comment and where you mentioned Imran Tahir, the reason people didn't pick him is because they're satisfied with the Indian spinners. They are the match winners. Name me 3 players, barring Amit Mishra, Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin, who have won matches for their respective franchises.
Chahal has won. See, the thing is, name when Imran Tahir has been a match winner consistently. So
with Delhi Daredevils last season?
Exactly. So that's the problem. When Delhi Daredevils now has good players.
If you could go for somebody like a Rashid Khan, fantastic. We have been talking about him for a year now in our podcast regularly.
Yeah.
Finally, he got a call along with Mohammad Nabi. Sunrisers spotted the talent. But what about Imran Tahir?
So
If somebody is number one in two formats together, you don't pick him, but you pick someone who's upcoming. This is not an investment for sure, considering the fact that everybody goes into the pool again. So, again, no logic. If you can afford an Adam Zampa, why can't you afford Imran Tahir? Shocker. Ishant Sharma. If somebody from Salem, T. Natarajan, great rags to riches, brilliant. But why not Ishant Sharma? Today, he's still our number one bowler in test matches. You could, of course, argue about Cheteshwar Pujara. You could argue about so many things.
Ishant Sharma, I think, past his prime.
Past his prime. Try telling this to Munaf Patel.
Past his prime.
This is where auction can be very funny.
Mr. Natarajan is the Indian Mustafizur Rahman.
Yes.
So
Great for him. Yes. He's been bowling with those tennis with the tape ball and all. That's nice. But please explain this, Munaf Patel. Past his prime. I really want to knock on their door and, I want an explanation. How could you get someone
the logic is
who doesn't even have the fitness to tuck his t-shirt in?
Logic is very clear. Spinners, ideally Indian. Fast bowlers, ideally foreigners. All-rounders, ideally foreigners. Batsmen, good ones in India, plus some foreigners. This is the mindset. If you analyze any team, this is the mindset. If we didn't have these few 10 batsmen, IPL would have had 7 foreigners playing. It's like ISL where you have to have 6 foreigners playing because you don't have Indian players. If we didn't have these 20 Indian batsmen, we would have had IPL would have changed their rules, 6 foreigners.
That's a good point, and justified because we saw what happened with Manoj Tiwari. Manoj Tiwari had to wait. Nobody picked him last year. And even yesterday, I think it was only in the 3rd round that he got picked. What a disaster.
Absolutely.
So you talk about the top 20 and then there is a big delta.
Absolutely.
Then the likes of Subramanyam Badrinath, Saurabh Tiwari, Manoj Tiwari, these guys come.
Yeah.
So very unfortunate situation.
No, that's what I have been always saying. In cricket is religion, cricket is God of... Cricket is here. Everything is here.
Yeah, cricket puts us on the world map also.
But tell me, after the 15th name, whom would you bet on? These guys need to go out and get auctioned at Big Bash and all. Then you would actually know their value. How many Indians would play in the Big Bash?
Not more than 5.
Exactly.
Not more than 5.
So
yeah,
that's the tragedy.
Yes. So Siju.
Yeah, the silent listener, right?
Yeah, you better not have interjected in this one.
Of course not.
So where are we heading next?
That's why the silent, there has to be someone listening also, right, in the studio as well, if not the outside. But it's an interesting one. It's always fun to get IPL talking, right? It's something like a gala event that everyone looks forward to.
No, of course. It's the biggest...
Yeah.
But overall, CP, before we finish this, who looks the strongest?
See, the strongest team still are Gujarat Lions, KKR and RCB.
RCB?
Yeah. See, if RCB... nothing has changed for RCB. Mitchell Stark wasn't there last year. Mitchell Stark is not here this year.
Yeah.
It's the same team going out there. The key there is how well Shane Watson performs. Because...
You're right.
Yeah.
He gives you that balance.
He gives you the balance. If he can clobber 60 of 30 balls...
And pick up a few wickets with the ball.
Yeah, 2 wickets, that's it.
Yeah.
And ball is good for overs. But he's over the last 2-3 years been very inconsistent. If he performs well, RCB is there.
Well, he was in the top 5 wicket takers last year.
Yeah.
So.
See, that's what I said. See, they were 6 runs separated them from the trophy. It's like... Just too bad that they didn't win last year.
Yeah.
With Virat leading the way he was. Gujarat Lions, of course, I think again they are totally depend on batting.
They got Jason Roy.
Yeah, they got Jason.
Can you
But,
imagine Jason
but,
Roy, Aaron Finch, Dwayne Smith and Brendan
Yeah,
McCullum?
but change the rule to 6 foreigners and Gujarat Lions will win. Okay.
And then you have a backup in Bravo and Faulkner.
Exactly.
So,
six,
and Ravindra Jadeja.
No,
So-
वो तो Indian हो गया.
Yeah, but-
Play 6 foreigners
Yeah.
and Gujarat Lions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Otherwise, yeah. And KKR, of course, being what they
KKR,
are always.
very, very
Yes,
solid.
Always,
Yes.
always been.
And a word on the defending champs?
Defending champs, see, you need the Warner show. Otherwise, nothing happens there.
Yes.
You know, and unfortunately, it's become like that Sachin show. You know, if Warner gets out, there's panic out
Yeah.
there. You know, it's like
Yes.
because Shikhar Dhawan hasn't performed because
Yes.
he's the guy who should have held anchor, but
Correct.
that hasn't happened. So you need Warner happening.
Yes, and you obviously you have the class of Kane Williamson at number 3. But for them,
So
if
match
Dhawan
winner-
and Yuvraj click
Yeah.
CP,
And of course, Nehra. And
Mustafizur is
so
there.
So
they've got great depth in their
but,
bowling.
Yeah, great depth, but finally, you know, you need the
I think
batting
it will
to-
come down to Yuvraj and Shikhar Dhawan. If both can start clicking,
Yeah,
they'll be
then, yeah.
very tough team to beat.
Yeah.
Well, I think we shouldn't compare teams because different leagues, different stuff. We've always seen a team with big stars usually never get the cup. Like just like you've been complaining about RCB not getting there.
Well,
the
Chennai
cup
got
team-
it
We've
once.
seen,
Not
we've
twice,
seen. No,
sorry.
I'm just saying we've seen Real Madrid having
Yeah,
the
Real
best
Madrid, yes.
teams. We also saw Mumbai City FC missing out on the title. Different rules in ISL. Let's not get ISL into it. It's be a different picture altogether. But I think. RCB still looks delicious to go ahead and take that cup.
Delicious when you put Virat Kohli in there and all.
Yeah,
these
exactly.
pretty
The
women.
whole thing
Yeah.
goes. It's like a magnet. It attracts you. And April 5th would be the Judgment Day starting. Where with this, all these players will be put to action.
RCB take on SRH.
Yeah. And
Yes.
we will all come to know. We'll all
Well,
have
we still
the
have
answers.
about more than a month to go.
We'll
and
all
I'm
have the
telling you
answers. Yeah.
a few surprises because somebody along the way will pull up something. And the replacement.
It always has to be there.
Always,
there has to
always,
be surprises
always,
in the
always.
end.
Yes,
there has to
yes.
be a climax in the end of the
Absolutely,
match,
yes,
right?
yes.
Well, that's all, folks. Hope you enjoy the show as much I enjoy listening or being in the
Next
studio.
time, what we'll do is we'll arrange a table for ourselves
Huh.
in the auction hall,
Yeah.
and we'll just put up our hand just to say bad call or good call. वैसा हो जाएगा. I wish it could happen someday.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to our show on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon so you get updates on our new episode. You can follow us on Twitter, CP Thomas as CP Thomas 42. Nikhil is on Twitter as 42 Nikhil. He's gone for his responsible job to be a voter. Vivek is on Twitter as Krishnan Viv. Fantasy related, you can get in touch with TFG Fantasy 11. We're also on Facebook. Have a great day. You can also listen to our show on Audio Boom, SoundCloud, iTunes, etc.
Hey man, just help me out, man. I need some podcast, man. I haven't had a fix in a week. Just need some.
Don't you worry about it. I got podcast galore for you, man. Just go to ivmpodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna check it out.